Hello everyone. In today's YouTube video, I'm going to be showing you how I detangle my hair, wash my hair, and condition my hair. Also, while talking about the MIELLE allegations and how some of MIELLE's products have actually been breaking and damaging people's hair rather than nourishing and strengthening people's hair. Now, if you're into natural hair care like I am, and you probably know MIELLE, their products have been a staple for many of us. Well, not me, but a lot of their population was started because of their rice water collection and the rosemary mint growth oil. But recently, some people have been saying that MIELLE's products are actually causing breakage, shedding, and even dryness, which is very, very bad if you ask me, which is something a product should not do for you and something a brand should not serve. That should not be the purpose of any brand, especially for people with tight curls. So what's really going on? Is this a product issue, or is something else entirely the cause of it, or are people just being people in general? Let's talk about it. Now, MIELLE Organics blew up in the natural hair community 2021, and they blew up for being super effective, especially for those of us who are all about moisture and growth. Now, I was not able to get my hands on the rosemary mint hair growth oil because I just couldn't get my hands on it, and I didn't really stress about it because it was just an oil. To me, there's nothing like a hair growth oil. It was just an oil that really helped a lot of people. And at that time, I didn't see any bad reviews about it. Everything was just great, and I was like, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna make my own. And if you want to know how to make your own hair growth oil at home, check out my channel. I have over 2 videos on that, and just try and watch it, and maybe you can make yours by yourself. Now, especially for those of us who are all about moisture and growth, their rosemary mint oil was practically a viral sensation. Everybody, it doesn't even matter what hair type you have, as long as you have hair on your head, or as long as you're trying to grow your hair, you're going to have that product. You should have that product. Well, as of that time, I don't know about now. Everyone was trying it out. Even a lot of people I actually saw on social media tried it out, and unfortunately I could not get my hands on it, and it doesn't really matter. Well, let's just continue watching to know whether it really matters or it doesn't. But then after a while, things started to change for some people, and when I mean a while, I mean like months later. I began seeing posts and videos about hair damage, excessive shedding, and even worse, breakage. Some users blamed certain ingredients, while others claimed their hair reacted differently after the product rebranded or the formula was changed. So here's the tea. Several people have accused certain MIELLE products, not all, but certain MIELLE products, particularly the rice water collection, of causing major hair issues. I've seen comments saying that instead of retaining moisture, it's drying out people's hair. And one thing about rice is that it has a lot of benefits for the hair, and when you have too much of those benefits, your hair starts to get weak because your hair can't absorb and will not absorb the nutrients that product is giving your hair, because most of the time it has surplus of it, and it either leads to clogging their scalp or breakage. Now, we know everyone's hair is different, and what works for one person might not work for another, but it's just not a few people talking. This has become a whole conversation about whether some of these products are doing more harm than good. And now let's talk about what could actually be causing the damage, because there are so many causes, but I have around 3 causes here where I'm going to be talking about it. Now, one cause is a formulation change. Some people swear that MIELLE products have changed their formulas after getting more popular. It's okay. And when a brand scales up, they often tweak ingredients, sometimes to lower costs, sometimes to improve shelf life. And it's possible that certain ingredients are reacting badly with certain hair types, because a lot of people, as you know already, my hair went viral a long time ago, and a lot of people might have been using it for a pretty long time, and it may have been a very bad like drastic change on your hair itself. So your hair may have reacted differently to that product. Another cause is a protein overload. Like I said before, another thing people are mentioning is protein overload. Some of MIELLE's products, especially the rice water collection, which I actually just said, are protein heavy. That is why it's meant to moisturize your hair, rejuvenate your hair. While protein is great for strengthening your hair, it can be too much. Too much of it can actually make your hair brittle, leading to damage, like I said before. And if you're not balancing it with the moisture, that's where the trouble starts. That's where the root of the problem actually starts. Now, the third cause I have is improper use. When you're using a product improperly or the way it's not supposed to be used, that is where another big problem starts. It's just like you drinking water from your nostrils, not from your mouth. Who does that? So I don't know a lot of things behind the cameras of what people are posting on the internet. So people may be using the product incorrectly, like applying heavy oils to soaking wet hair, or using protein-based products on already strong, low porosity hair. And misuse can definitely cause issues, and I'm not going to speak on that because you should know how to use a product, maybe even before you buy that product, because it's your money. Yeah, why are you buying something where you don't know what it is? Now, MIELLE's response to the whole thing, and this is what you've probably been looking forward to, MIELLE's response. MIELLE Organics has addressed some of these concerns, saying that their products are safe and haven't changed in a way that would cause this kind of damage. They also stress that it's important to know your hair type and needs before trying any products. That's true, but does that fully explain why so many people are having issues? Now, one thing that actually bugs me about this whole MIELLE thing is, why is that all of a sudden every single person that has had a problem with it is currently talking about it? Years ago, people had problems with it. Definitely someone's going to have a problem with that product. But why is it now that a lot of people are coming out? I'm not saying they planned it. All I'm saying is that it's kind of, when I say sketchy, it's just not as, will I say, original. It's almost like the Bondi Sands thing, the Bondi Sands sunscreen, and how the Bondi Sands own just literally just went from a 10 to a 0 because a lot of people swore by that product. And definitely every brand, every service, anybody that renders a service to someone else or has consumers of whatever product or whatever service they have, they will definitely have a, well, I say downfall, but they will have their moments. They will have a snowball moment and they will have a muddy moment. Now, MIELLE had a muddy moment, a pretty big muddy moment. Now, I'm going to finish off this video with a few words. Number one, if you're using a product, please make sure that product is for you and is for your hair. Make sure the product is safe for you to use as a person. Not even about your hair. Whatever you're buying, whether it's a drug, whether it's a meal, food, water, just make sure it's safe for you as a person with your own individual problems or your own individual life or your own individual digestive system, your own individual hair, your own individual self, that it's safe for you as a person, not just because every other person was buying it. Another thing I would like you to take from this video, if you're not going to take anything, is that it's hard to say definitely because every hair is different. So now, is MIELLE actually breaking out your hair? As the advice I want to give you is, when buying a product, when you try it and you realize it doesn't work for you, please don't continue watching. Don't continue using that product. Change it immediately. Change that product as soon as you realize. The second you realize that thing doesn't work for you, make sure you change it, because when you don't change it, you're just going to give it room to continue to do that thing it's doing. that is not good for you or your hair. And when you give it room, you're going to give yourself problem after problem after problem, and it's just going to become more difficult for your hair and for you as a person to even manage. And I don't know how to say this in a nice way possible, but if something isn't working for you, it's not working for you. I'm sorry, but if you think that you buying things that people on social media are advertising for you, that's not for your hair type, is going to work for you, then I'm pretty sure you're dreaming. That is a dream that will most likely never happen. So when you realize that something isn't for you or for your hair, or something doesn't work as well as it should for you, switch it up, experiment with other products. But while experimenting, please use the exact tips I mentioned in this video. Don't buy something because someone else that you really like uses it. Buy something because you think it will work, and if it does work, continue using it. Unless you feel like you can get a better upgrade, or you feel like I think something else will work better for me, that is when you should change a product. And I suggest that using a product once will never tell you how good that product is unless it's meant to be used once. But if you're using a shampoo, make sure you use it at least for 2 months before you give your review, or before you say something good or bad about that specific product, because some products need time to actually work to show you the effects of the benefits of that product. So please don't just trash something because when you use it once you didn't see the results it's supposed to give you just after using it once. Make sure you use something at least 2, 3, 5 times before you can start rating that product. So I hope I see you in my next YouTube video, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already.